Studios proudly presents Streamin with Keegan, with your host, Keegan.
All right, welcome to this special episode of Streamin with Keegan. We're doing another interview stream. This time with the one and the only RichAvePreme here with us today. Hello, RichAvePreme.
Peace, everyone. Appreciate you having me, Keegan. I'm
Yeah,
excited for this. So,
I'm excited too. Don't know if anyone's here yet. I see the Pope official has made 2 comments. Very excited about the whole thing. Yeah. Hey, Abstractius Artemis. Appreciate you coming through. So without further
hold on,
ado, let's see
abstract.
how many people are chatting here. Or how many people are watching. It says 4 people are watching now. That's a crowd. That's a decent crowd. Yeah, we can get into the questions now, I suppose. I have them up on my phone. Oh, there we go. All right. So the first question is, when did you know you wanted to make music?
I would say, when did I know I wanted to make music? Would
Yeah.
be roughly around May. I would say around March, April of 2020.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So, okay. So, another question is, who are your inspirations?
Good one. Inspirations
Yeah.
would be,
You've talked openly a lot about some of your inspirations on several of your songs. Um,
yeah,
so I have a vague understanding of a few of them, but like I'd like to hear you say it.
sure. Yeah, the list is quite comprehensive, but I'll try to keep it brief because it spans from like boom bap is probably the origin, like the main source of my inspiration in music. Going back to, man, I would say Run DMC, Big Daddy Kane,
Hmm.
Eric B and Rakim, Wu Tang Clan, of course. Yeah, then get into the early, I would say like the 2000s, Dipset. I listen to them a lot. Love their production style. Um, Also G Unit, 50 Cent. I was heavy into his early rhyme schemes, Kanye West production and rhyming
Uh,
early on. And then getting into recently, I would say, as you know, and many in the community know, I've been delving into the funk
yeah.
genre. So
Yeah.
there's producers such as like Dark, um, Suave Lee. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but his name is DVRST. I have no
Hmm.
clue how to pronounce
DVR.
that name. But yeah, those are few of the funk
Cool.
inspirations there.
Nice. Nice. Um, and then I guess the other question is, I'm also realizing like a lot of these, this is not your first interview. This is your second interview because you had an article you had like a news, was it like a magazine
Yeah. Yep.
news article interview you. So a lot of the questions are repeats from that article, not necessarily like exact copies, but like the article really asked a lot of the questions I would have asked, but I'm still gonna ask them. I'm still gonna ask them anyway,
All good.
just for the people who haven't seen it.
I might say
Um,
some things that I forgot to put in the article here
true,
today on the stream. So
true. So another question, the third one. What do you get out of making your music?
what do I get? I would say a fulfillment of, I guess you could say joy.
Hmm.
Um, just being able to create something from my mind and you know work with sounds and manipulate them into making something that I enjoy first, and that I can have a good time listening to, and then to be able to share it to the world and have other people, even if it's just one person who likes one of my tracks and says something about it, or even seeing like getting a like on a track or something like that.
Mm.
It really means a lot. So yeah, just
Yeah,
spreading the joy.
I
That's what it's all
feel the
about.
exact same way about my music. um, but yeah, I think the other question, yeah, we got one over here. Okay, what this is, I think, a question I asked both Digital Love and Abstract. I mean, the other ones are too, but what song or collection of songs are you most proud of and feel like reflect you the best?
I would say reflect me the best. I would have to go with Chosen EP.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, I like that for sure.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that was just this is that was my first lyrical EP.
Mm,
I don't intend on making another one anytime soon, so that might
gotcha.
be the only one. Who knows? But yeah, that was a very experimental project where I like really got into the writing and into
Yeah.
having writing with a message. That's my main thing when it comes to lyrics. When I do write lyrics, I
Mm,
always want to have a message behind it.
for sure.
Sometimes I'll throw things in where there's like a double meaning, or it might leave you thinking. It might not be a clear
Mm,
message, but I either want to have something where someone can learn something from it, or it'll touch you a certain way, or it'll just make you think about something. So
yeah, yeah. I love lyrics that make you think, and I love metaphors, and I love like
yeah.
lyrics buried under layers of metaphor.
Hmm.
Um,
Agreed.
yeah. Like sometimes my lyrics I have lyrics that sound metaphorical, but in like when it comes down to it, I if you asked me what like a majority of my songs that sound like they have deep lyrics mean, I would have no idea, cuz it's like they're like subconscious they're just like subconscious words that come out of my mind for some
Gotcha.
reason.
Yeah, yeah.
So they probably mean something abstract to my subconscious, but
Hmm.
I'm just not aware of them. Um oh, here's another one. What new genres have you considered trying out, if any?
I would like to eventually take a crack at DNB.
Hmm.
Um, that would probably be the next one that I experiment with. Yeah,
Well,
DNB.
abstract says that's how I write. So
Oh
you
yeah.
write so you write like me or you write like Preem? Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Were you I don't think you were done. Were you done?
Oh no, I think yeah, that was it. Just DNB. I'm like I don't
Alright.
even know like the subgenres or too much about it. I would have to do like a little bit of
Uh-huh.
history on it and some research, but
Yeah,
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 I think that
yeah.
would be the next one.
Another one.
He
Oh
said
yeah.
both of us.
Yeah, okay. All right. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I when I uh I try my best. I try to make lyrics like that I understand and comprehend that are still metaphorical, but like oftentimes it's just gibberish to my conscious mind. But like it sounds cool. um all right, the other one. Another question that I think I asked Digital Love as well. How did you come up with your name and logo?
The name.
I know about your name, and
Oh, okay.
but I don't know about your logo. But I'm still gonna ask you those questions for those of you who don't know, because I read the article.
Sure. All right, cool. So the name Rich Ave is short for Richardson Avenue, which is the street that I grew up on. And it's very, very near and dear to my heart, that location. A lot of history, a lot of like who I am came from, my experiences living on that street.
Mm.
And so yeah, that's the Rich Ave. And then Preem is short for Supreme, which is you could say name, title, or whatever. Um, uh, uh, what's an attribute that I give myself as, and this is what I said in the article as well, not to ever say like I'm better than anyone else or like I'm the supreme one,
Right.
like the only one or anything like that, but to
Right.
remind myself to be the supreme version of myself each day and
Each
to
day.
improve on myself each day.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's
Be
like
the
a
more
constant reminder to if I'm gonna
exactly.
take on that name, then it's something I have to really, put myself into.
How do you like your pizza? Supreme. Also, Digital Love, appreciate you coming through, my
Hey,
guy.
there's love.
Um. Anyway, also you guys can. We're nowhere near done with the questions on the phone, but when you guys can start thinking up questions of your own. Like there's never too early to do that. Um. Another question is, what's? Oh yeah, this is something that because this was around before I even like met this community or met you. This your red, yellow, and blue tape chronicles. I'm just
Oh, I didn't mention
curious.
the logo. Sorry. I didn't mean to
Oh,
cut you
you
off
didn't.
there.
Yeah, you're right. You didn't mention the logo. Yeah, I still don't know about the logo.
Yeah, so
But to
the
be fair,
logo originally,
you have many different logos, but I guess
yeah.
but any one of them. You could talk about any of them if you want.
So the main one it originally was just the RAP, Rich F Preem,
Hmm.
for short. It was like it's RAP and then underneath says Rich F Preem. And within the R, there's a play button, a play pause button, and then the A has the audio file or like a wave file, and then for the A audio file, or some sorry, the R is a record, and
Hmm.
then the P is a play pause button. So it's
Oh
record,
wow,
audio, play pause, like all has to do with music. And then I
wow!
eventually added,
I didn't realize
yeah.
I didn't realize how intricate it was. I thought
And then
I
it also has like it makes rap like boom bap hip hop and everything.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like that's the
So
only thing I picked
it's
up.
kind of just worked that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's the one thing I picked up on was that the acronym spells rap, and I thought that was
Yeah.
intentional.
No, that
Uh,
part just kind of happened. But
that's
and then
awesome.
I eventually added the it's like a bust basically like you would see in a museum or something.
Yeah, I saw that. I
With
was
a
wondering
crown
like
on it.
what that. I was wondering what that was, but I looked at it more closely. Like, yeah, that looks like a bust. That looks like a
Yeah.
statue.
Yep.
Rich
That's
Preme
basically that.
statue.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because I'm very one of my biggest things on my mind like constantly is to leave a legacy and
Mm,
a very solid build from a very solid foundation. So the bust is like statue stone solid, and it's also usually when you see a bust of someone, it's someone who's left a long a deep rich legacy behind.
yeah.
So that's
They
where
have
that
to
all
they
ties
have to
into.
have left a legacy, otherwise what was the point in painstakingly carving them out of stone?
Right, exactly.
Also,
Hey, I see a few more people came through.
Yeah,
Wasted Blood,
we got
Zahi,
and Dick
Dick
McGuffin.
McGuffin.
Yeah,
Appreciate you guys.
welcome y'all. And we got 6 people watching. That's awesome.
Nice.
Um, Abstract asks, Preem, didn't you work on a project with Stan?
Yeah. Yep. We have a project in the works.
Oh, you have a project in the works.
Yep.
Cool.
hmm
Cool. You
To
don't have to
be
talk you don't have to
announced to
talk
be
about
dated.
that. You don't have to talk about that if you want to keep it under wraps. But
Yeah.
but
Keep it under wraps for now.
yeah, sure. Um but anyway, the question I was about to ask before we talked about the logos was what's the origin behind the red, yellow, and blue tape chronicles?
The origin, I would say, is just from being inspired by producers like mainly Jay Dilla, listening to his I think he was the first person I came across who it hit me. I was like, wow, producers actually put out their own albums of just their beats. Like I never knew, I never thought producers ever did that. I always thought they made beats for people to sing or rap or whatever to have
Yeah.
vocals on. So to hear like a whole instrumental album was, astonishing to me at the time.
Mm.
So I said to myself, at some point I'm gonna do just that and do like a three different like a collection, but drop it all as one massive, I guess you could say, project, and with three different themes, I guess you could say. There's like the chill vibes on the blue tape, the boom bap vibes on the gold tape,
Mm.
and because a lot of people say the boom bap era, like hip hop was like the golden era, so that's the
Mm.
gold tape, and
Yeah.
blue chill, like waves, water type of vibe, and then the red tape
Right.
chronicles are the more modern, I guess you could say, trap kind of style music. So yeah,
Gotcha.
that's that.
That's a good question, Waste of Blood. It's kind of similar to the existing question I had, though, which is basically,
That.
what is there a genre you didn't tap into yet but would want to in the future? I don't know if you
Oh
were there
yeah.
for. I don't know if you were there earlier in the stream, but Preem was talking about getting into DNB.
Yeah.
Um, and then Zahi's question is, do you want to collab again?
Oh yeah, sure. I don't know if you want to use one of those other melodies that I sent you, or if you want to hit me up on Discord and we can talk about some stuff.
Yeah. Um.
Me and Abstract also have a collab coming up as well.
Cool. Cool. I really like your I really like. I like. You have two iconic collabs or collaborations in my book. You have Blazing Quarter Pounds, and you have uh Real Hip Hop. I like the instrumental you did for Real Hip Hop.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, those are definitely those are fun, and it's
Mhm.
funny. Those are both with Abstract, and then this next one,
Mhm.
I have a feeling like within myself, how going back to um why I make music and how I do it for myself first to make music that I can enjoy and then share it to
Mhm.
the world.
Yeah.
I personally feel within myself that this next collab with Abstract, I remade the beat live. It's gonna be Style Wild. I feel like this is
Nice.
gonna be like the best collab that I've been on, or that we've been on, I guess, together, because we've done
That's
a few now. So
that's
yeah, it's
awesome. I
gonna
can't
be
wait
it's gonna be
can't
good.
wait to hear it. Um. Yeah, here's the other question. Oh, yeah, of course, Abstract. Um, yeah, the other question. Here's another question. More not as much of a question, I guess. Well, I guess it's kind of a question. But it's something I did with digital. It's something that spawned from Digital Love and our interview. Um, and that is, like, if you want to show us your oldest track or your newest track at you don't have to show us your very latest track if you want to keep that under wraps, but like your, I don't know, the latest track you feel comfortable sharing and the oldest track you
Sure.
feel comfortable sharing if you still have your oldest track.
Yeah, I actually plugged in my thumb drive earlier
Cool.
today to just for that reason.
Gotcha.
Um, so let's see. Should I drop it into the Discord here
Okay, we can play it
for
on the
you?
we can play it on the stream. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it unless you have I don't know if you have the
Or
stream
should I
open.
stream it from my end, or
You
I don't know,
could.
whatever's easiest.
Yeah, you could. I don't know if it'll sound bad through Discord, but we'll see. Because if you could hear it and I can hear it, that might be most convenient.
Okay,
But if
cool.
not, but if it sounds bad, I could play it on my end, and you can watch it on the stream and unmute. You can unmute the stream, and I'll just shut up so you don't hear me twice.
Okay. Let me see. Uh, guess should I play the first beat first or like the latest beat first? Like,
You can
um,
show the oldest beat first. It's kind of like
oldest.
a
Okay.
you could. It's kind of like you used to
Okay,
be here,
got
but
you.
now you're here.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
got you. All right. So I gotta open this.
after this after this Waste of Blood has another question, which I will read
Okay.
after this whole thing. Something happened.
I don't know if this is gonna mess up my.
It did. Let me see if
Oh,
if I
okay.
can change that. Bring you back up. Hey, hey. I just want to bring this up. Whatever. I don't. It doesn't. Whatever. It's fine. We just see. We just see the track now. That's okay. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So here's the first track.
All right.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
All right. Can the stream hear it? Just wanna check.
I mean, if I can hear it, the stream can probably hear it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. It's only 30 seconds long. So.
Gotcha. Very chill. There a lot of reverb in it.
It's so bad. I'm trying so hard to not laugh.
It's not that bad. Okay. All right. Brief but
Yeah.
atmospheric.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I have no clue what like my reason for stopping there, having only 30 seconds, not having a
Mhm.
snare or a clap.
Right.
Yeah, I think I got to a point. Am I back on this
Yeah, you're
stream
back
yet?
on the screen.
Okay. I think I got to a point where I was like, because this was, as you can see from the names, day one, my first like take at
Yeah, I
at
noticed
production.
that.
I think I got to a point where I was like,
This is trash.
and I just like canned it and just went back onto YouTube and searching Google and stuff,
That's
doing some
funny.
more research, getting some more knowledge about the music itself. I think my kick was off a little bit in certain parts there. So yeah, that was
Gotcha. It's cool that you still
pretty.
it's cool that you still have the voice changer through Discord. This is trash.
And then so should I play one of the more
Yeah, you can
recent
play your
ones
latest,
now?
one of your most recents again. I don't know if you are comfortable sharing an unpublished one or not, but you know.
Yeah, I'll actually I think I'll play the latest
Okay.
track, which I was just working actually give me a second here. Sorry about that.
It's all right. Oh, Abstract asks. Well, actually, Abstract asks, "This is that your very, very first beat?"
I don't think it's my very, very first beat. I think I made something on FL Studio Mobile. Like
Mm,
this must have been maybe 2007, 16, 17-ish, maybe.
gotcha.
Where I kind of got interested in music, but never like got to a serious point with it like I did, back in how I mentioned 2020.
That's funny. I think I also started making music at around that time.
Really?
I think I was, yeah. Again, I'm like the same. It's very convenient for me because I'm roughly the same age as the Century. I'm like slightly older than the Century.
Huh.
Um, so because I'm trying to think about how old I was, and it's just easier math wise because um yeah, it was either in 2019 or 2020. Just because I know I made my first song, my first few songs before the pandemic. I know that I know that much. Um. Anyway, I'll while you're digging for that track,
I
I
just
can.
found it.
Okay, cool.
There we go. So this isn't the latest, but this is second to latest, I guess you could say.
Cool. Just
Um,
saying, waste of blood. I haven't forgotten your question yet. I'm gonna ask it after this track.
so this is Going Crazy. Some might have heard the preview to this on TikTok or Instagram. I posted a little preview, but this is the full track here. So here we go.
All right.
Some Scarface.
So you got it pulled open on Discord, or gonna play it the same way, or
Oh, it's not streaming?
it's not for me. I don't know if that's something on my end or not.
Stop streaming. Share screen. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Media player. Yeah, abstract stats is playing. Go live.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's.
there we go. Think it should work now.
I still don't see it. Interesting.
No?
Oop,
Oh, it just went away on my screen.
that's
Wait,
weird.
let's see. Do you hear it?
I don't hear it. I suppose we could
Hmm.
try it the other way if the third time doesn't work, where you send it through Discord and I play it.
Okay. Let me see. Where'd it go? Crazy. Okay. Pause. Screen.
It's funny. I hear the noise, like the, but it's not showing up for me for some reason. I
Huh.
don't. Again, I really don't know if that's something wrong with my end or if I need to see it.
So weird how it just worked for the other one, but now it's not working.
I
But
know.
yeah, I'll try to drop it into, let's see,
Yeah,
Discord.
and then you could unmute my stream and
Oh, it says it's too big
powerful.
file.
Can put it in like Dropbox perhaps.
Okay. Let's see.
While you're doing that, I could ask a question from Waste of Blood if you think
Mhm.
that if you can answer if you're not too distracted.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Okay, so Waste of Blood asked, do you ever run out of motivation for music? And if yes, how do you combat that?
Yes, at times I do. To combat it, usually I'll first just take a break away from like everything. As as far as production goes, and then I'll just start listening to different artists or like stations playlists of music. I'll give it like a day or two of like just straight rest, and then I'll start listening to some playlists or artists that come to mind for some ideas of what I want to start getting back into. Because I feel like I usually drive myself to a point where I'll make like a trap beat, then I'll make like a super chill like funk beat, and then like a fast drift funk beat. Then I'll do like a house, a hard style house beat. Like I'll jump around within a condensed like window of time, and that's where I kind of get myself overwhelmed. I noticed this has been happening for past maybe 2 or 3 months, but it's like I just can't crack out of the cycle at the same time. So it's like I'm used to it at this point. So yeah, that's what I usually do. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. All right. So I don't know if you have the thing in did you DM it to me?
Um, no, I'm having some issues
Ah,
on Dropbox, of course.
gotcha. I'm
Is it
guessing
all
you've
right if I
tried
do Google Drive?
Sure, sure. I'm guessing you've tried this, but have you sent an MP3 or a wave through Discord?
It was a wave. I'm pretty sure MP3 would have worked, but I just don't have an
Yeah,
MP3 of it.
gotcha.
Yeah, I should have bounced it as an MP3. I need to. That's what I need to start doing too in FL Studio. Have it
Yeah,
ticked where it does both automatically.
I do that. I export them as a wave and an MP3
Yeah,
specifically for sharing.
yeah. I definitely need to start doing that.
Yeah. Um and I also just I download the MP3s onto my phone and, and listen to them nonstop before they're released. Cuz
Same.
I just love the fuck out of my music. What can I say? I feel like you're either your biggest fan or your worst critic. There's no in between.
Agreed. Definitely agree.
No in between.
Here we go. Here's the link.
All right,
So that
cool.
should work.
Cool. Let's pull it up. All right, so you can. It's probably gonna start playing. All right. So you could turn on. I don't know if you have the stream.
Oh yeah, I have it muted right now.
All right,
Yeah.
so you can unmute it. I'll stop talking.
Okay. Same.
All right, and play.
Big man, fuck you. What do you think I am? You think I killed 2 kids and a woman? Fuck that! I don't need that shit in my life.
RichAvePreme.
You die, motherfucker! What you think I am, huh? What you think I am, fucking worm like you? I told you, man. I told you, don't fuck with me. I told you, no fucking kids. No, but you wouldn't listen. Right, you stupid fuck. Look at you now.
All right. All right. There's usually some sort of delay. Preem's still listening.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Let me
There's
go ahead
always
and
like a delay.
mute the stream.
All
I appreciate
right.
everyone in the chat. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Definitely. That was fire. I liked how
Thank you.
I liked the cowbells as well. Or Zahi says he knows that cowbell. I don't know that cowbell, but I liked that cowbell. I liked the reverb in it. It was very haunting. I don't know if I've heard
Oh
that
yeah,
one
you said that
before.
on TikTok, I think.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I think I heard this before. I think I heard a little bit of this before. I was like, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. TikTok. Um, yeah. Digital Love said something up above earlier at one point. Not exactly a question, but I still want to read it because it's related to Preem. You know what I've thought is cool, and I wonder what Preem's opinion is on a cipher. Like lots of people from the community rap on a beat, and it's like a fairly long song. I thought that would be cool.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that because that's been going around. Like, I don't know who first came up with the idea. It might have been Abstract, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's been an idea for quite a while. I would definitely be interested in it. I think it would be dope, like having, the core people. We have a good amount of people I feel like that would be willing to do it. Definitely, I think that would be dope.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to it because a lot of you guys have different styles of rap, styles of
Yeah,
flows, different. Yeah. Of course I do rap, but I don't I'm not like crazy, but I can rap if I put my mind to it. And I have a few tracks where I rap, but not really a rapper by any means by any stretch.
It's like I feel like if you wanted to sing, if you wanted to do some type of vocals on it, I feel like that would be dope and manipulate them in your unique way.
Yeah.
Uh like that would I feel like it would be cool for everyone to kind of just bring your style. Don't try to
Mm.
be so much
Yeah. The
a
only
rapper.
yeah, yeah.
So if someone's more of a singer, like hmm, who's a good example? I would say like Digital Love, or
Mhm.
if AM Sir AM was to do it, he's like more of the melodic type. So
Mhm.
I feel like it would be good to have those changes, like some melodies, some of
Yeah.
that digital, like the Vocaloid and like digital kind of type of style coming in,
Yeah.
and just those different vibes. That'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
Abstract says, speaking of Keegan rapping, I was listening to Seventh Funk earlier. That's one of the
I've never heard of Southern Funk.
it's in my Keegan album.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't think I've
Yeah,
heard
that's
that
like
one.
one of the few tracks where I rap quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Um, here's another one. How did you come to seek? Oh, this is kind of a question that I had for Digital Love and Abstract, but it really changes depending on the dynamic. Obviously, I feel like you were one of the founders of this community along with Abstract. That's my perception anyway. You can tell me if I'm wrong on that about that, but I think you and Abstract were kind of the people who brought this community together. Um,
Yeah, I kind of started the streaming, and then Abstract started the
the server,
Discord, and then
yeah,
it's
yeah,
merged together.
yeah. So was seeking a community of musicians always a goal of yours, or did it just kind of end up happening organically?
I would say it was it kind of happened organically, and then it kind of became a goal, because it's still something that I feel like I've been putting a lot of thought into this lately, for the past maybe month and a half or so, that I realized, because I still want to have like music reviews and contests, giveaways, and all that stuff, but I feel like I'm a little ahead of myself, like ahead of my time,
Mm,
to really do what I see, like with the vision that I have for the channel, the potential that I'm trying to manifest. It's a
mm-hmm.
little early, but I swear one day there's gonna be a lot of things that come from the channel that's gonna be I'm always looking for others to gain, like people who are around me that are close, who are active, who
Mm-hmm.
are passionate. I just want to see everyone win. I always tell people, if I win, we all win. That's like one of
Yeah.
my mottos. So
So that's interesting
yeah.
you say that. You said you don't feel ready for music review.
um
Is that what you
well,
meant, or
there's like a big picture that I see, that kind of it's just, I just have a deep, like, innate feeling that it's just not the time. Like, just take a break from that. And also, it's could be a subconscious like idea of, like, the fact that I have clothing that I'm going to be releasing soon, and
right?
that I'm doing all that
Multifaceted.
by myself, and stuff, from the ground up. So that could
Mhm.
be playing a role into it. But that really just crossed my mind. So that could have been something, deep down in my subconscious this whole time.
Yeah. All this time all this time I basically just thought like you were done with, I guess, charity streams for the foreseeable future, if for like ever, I guess, is what I
Oh, no,
assumed.
no, 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 just
All
for
right.
the foreseeable. So it's like,
Okay.
I'm sure it's out there, like, but it's just not within my sight yet. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, but all right, cool. Uh, but I guess back to the other thing.
Abstract.
It's funny because when yeah, I saw that. That's funny. Apple Music's like, you should listen to your friends' music more often. um, but I think another like one uh I don't know if you answered this or if I just glazed over it. I admittedly I look at past streams and I'm like, okay, I swear I catch more things that the guest says after the stream than when I'm
Yeah.
interviewing, and I feel like I have a lot of symptoms of ADHD. I have a hard time absorbing at what everybody's saying to me. It's very bad. Like when I interact with family, I zone out quite a bit, and it's
I
like
know
I
that
don't
feeling.
care. But like that's not it. I don't.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
know. Yep.
yeah. So and it's just like I know I'm gonna look back at this and be like, okay, you just completely ignored RichAvePreme in that regard. You didn't. You just glazed over something entirely. That being said, I don't know if you answered specifically about like, did you ever seek out a community of musicians? Like, did you say that? Like, did you ever
Oh,
seek out a community of musicians, or did you ever feel like you wanted to do that, or
yeah.
did it just kind of happen?
Oh, so okay, I don't think I fully explained that.
Mm,
Because there's something I wanted to tell with that. So
right.
with music in general, I um I kind of stumbled into music
Mm,
because it all started with people around me who, like very close to me, hearing them one day, talking about when they used to go to a studio and only if they had a studio right now, like how what it could be and all that stuff. And mind you, I never produced, I never went to a studio, I never recorded, wrote vocals, nothing, like wrote anything.
mm-hmm.
So I just took it upon myself. I'm like, you know what? This would be a nice way to like a really dope way to just be able to come together and build something. Even if we're just having fun, just to just come together and spend time in a different way. And put our minds to work and collaborate. So I just
Yeah.
took it upon myself to build out what I call like the control center, the stew, the lab. And I kind of like surprised them with it. I don't think I showed any of the progress along the way. I might have showed like one or two things, but I pretty much like hit them like, boom, here we got a studio now. So what are we gonna do?
Them being your
My close circle
uh
of I would say my brothers. Like we're not all related, but really that close. Like
yeah,
known each other
yeah.
for so long. Um,
Like yeah, I understand the dynamic.
yeah.
But like is any
So
yeah, all
it,
right.
yeah, but things like life happens, whatever, and I guess no, it got to a point where like no one was really able to make it over, and things it didn't really materialize. Again, I might have been ahead of myself, ahead of my time. The timing might have been off, whatever the case may be. But it got to a point where I was just like, okay, it's just me, my beats, and eventually I'm gonna get into the booth. I have a booth, it's all built out and everything. I'm gonna make use of it eventually. So that's what I did. I started just got really deep into the production, slowly got into the lyrics, but with that it was at that point where it was like I felt like it was just me and in the oh sorry turn that off. It was just me and the beats. Like when I felt that, like in my mind and in my heart, like it's just me in the beats. I was like, this is where maybe it's time for me to reach out and see if there's other producers that I can connect to. And that's when I got on
Ah.
YouTube and started looking for like beat reviews or beat making live and different things like beat tutorials and started seeing like that there is a community of just specifically producers, but then it actually branched out when I started, to stream. There's a lot of vocalists that came through, which was very dope. So just it kind of like they got going back to how I said now, like it kind of just materialize, kind of just happened organically. As
Gotcha.
far as me like wanting to, seek out a community.
Yeah, yeah. But it sounds like music has always been definitely a strong element of social bonding you get from your
Yeah,
music. Which is pretty
definitely,
cool.
definitely.
Pretty
Because
cool.
even when I see like it amazes me when I see like the countries on like Spotify for artists. Like the different countries where people are listening to my music, even if it's just one listener there, it just amazes me. I feel like it really truly means a lot. Like I really feel a bond. I might not know them, I've never seen them, I might not ever see them, I might not
Mhm.
ever speak to them. But yeah, it's like I know they exist. I know there's someone in Turkey or in Istanbul or
Yeah.
like all these different places, Madagascar, that have listened to at least one of my tracks, and that
That's awesome.
just it really means a lot.
I have I have one devoted fan on Spotify. I think he lives in America. Probably I think California, and I think it's me. I'm not as big on Spotify as I would hope. But that's all right. Spotify is like the main platform, but I don't have
Mhm.
Spotify Premium. I don't know how to advertise on Spotify. I do know how to advertise on YouTube, and I do know how to advertise on TikTok. And so that just kind of made my TikTok and YouTube blow up, but not my Spotify, which is sad, but hopefully when I get popular enough, it'll trickle down. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know if they have campaigns that you can run on Spotify. I think they do. But I think it's like I might have looked into it like in the past, and something might have been like the price or something. I was like,
yeah.
oh no, I'm not gonna do that. At
Putting
least
my
not
foot
now.
yeah, I feel like putting my foot in the door, in my particular case, was when I did covers. Like, that's really when I got attention, like, "Hey, this guy's making songs that I actually give a shit about, that I actually know." And so, maybe, just maybe, after hearing enough of the songs that they give a shit about, my iterations of the songs they give a shit about, maybe they'll start to just maybe, consider listening to my originals.
That's actually a good way to, I guess, get in, starting with covers. I don't know if you
Yeah.
did you do that was that like actually done intentionally or
It's weird. It's a mixture of both. Like, it it was definitely to some extent done intentionally, even from the very beginning. But it's not like, "Ooh, I'm gonna make this cover for that reason and that reason alone." I also just really like making covers.
yeah, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah. And sometimes I get annoyed that so many of my covers blow the fuck up, but my originals are just like, 1 view, 2 likes. Um, but, and one of the likes is
Oh,
from
I
and
see
one of the likes
abstract.
is from you. Oh, what did Abstract say? I always feel like I'm too much ahead of myself. That's why I'm taking such a long break. Ah,
That's good.
that's
Going
very
back to what I
cool.
was saying earlier, about taking a break sometimes when I feel overwhelmed.
Mm,
Definitely, definitely. Because if you just try to keep pushing, like I know, some people have the mind frame of like, gotta keep going, gotta keep going, gotta keep going.
yeah.
Sometimes, that you'll just burn yourself out and you'll be forced to take a longer break than you could have
Mhm.
taken to just, get a refresher.
Yeah.
You'll be basically, in a coma for a
Of
week
course, yeah, and I think
trying to
making
recover.
music being a musician is very multifaceted, like, there are many ways you can take a break as a musician.
Mhm, yeah.
You can take a break from literally making music. You can take a break from releasing music. You can take a break from advertising music. Um,
You
and
could just work on melodies for a week and no drums, or anything like that, just build a
mhm.
melody pack or something. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
and, like, for me, I it's like impossible for me to it's impossible for me, like, it feels like I will never get burned out making music. like making new songs. So I just have to physically restrain myself because otherwise, because I do get burnt out releasing them and advertising them, but I don't get burnt out making them, which could be very bad because I'm just buried in songs that aren't released yet. Which is why I come up with these fucking behemoth albums every so
That's
often.
exactly what just happened to me with the latest album. I was not expecting to put an album out, but I just started, getting so much material built up that I was like, okay, I want to put some stuff out. I intended to put out an EP, originally like 6 tracks. And I was like, you know what? It would actually benefit after. Plus, I did the poll, and more people said an album rather than 2 EPs. So I
Yeah, I think
figured,
I was one of the ones who suggested an album.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I figure, I took that as a sign, like this will actually play in, better for the streams and stuff, especially like the gaming streams where I wanted to have more of those, like basically all my funk tracks because they're more, I guess,
Better for Call of Duty.
active, like yeah, basically. Because right now I have my full playlist where the Blue Tape Chronicles is on there, and it has like very super chill,
Yeah.
like
I love
vibes every now and then.
I love it when that like super chill, relaxed music plays while you're just like
Yeah,
bashing somebody's skull in. It's amazing.
nice contrast.
You could keep it, honestly, you could keep it for the comedy.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I might. I think I might.
Or just like Deadpool slaughtering somebody to classical music or something.
Yeah.
That kind of vibe. This is another question I have. It's like more of a curious. It's not as much about music, but it's something more about what you said in an article. It's because it's something I caught up. It's something like that caught my eye that I wanted some clarification on because I watched some of your streams, and I think at one point you mentioned in a stream how old you were. You mentioned you were in your 50s. Is that wrong? Did you say that?
Yeah, that's a little running joke that I have just to say I'm 54.
Oh, okay, that's a
Yeah.
joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that okay. Okay.
But I
So
try to like play it like serious.
that's so funny. Okay. I thought you were serious. I had a question because it was like you mentioned in your stream you were born in 1989, and I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't add up. I was just like, wait, what? Okay, I'm okay, so that was a joke. Okay, so you're 33. Okay. Got it. All this time I thought you were older than my
Yeah,
parents.
abstract.
All this time.
Abstract's 57.
All of this time all of this time I legitimately believed you were older than my parents.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh man.
And I was just like, wow, you play Call of Duty. You play Fortnite.
Oh man. Although there is a guy I came across recently. I think I saw a clip on TikTok, or I might have. I don't know where I saw it. I think he was in like his 60s, like mid 60s, and he was playing Call of Duty. I think it was like Gaming Grandpa or something like that
Good
was his
for
name.
him.
Something. Yeah.
Good for him.
I feel like that's gonna be me. Like when I get to that age, I'll still
Hell
be
yeah.
on Call of Duty.
I feel like I might age well. I could see myself aging well.
Yeah, I could too.
Yeah. I guess
I feel like
here's the
everyone, like the core people, I don't know, there's something. And I just finished watching the show Manifest, where like all these people were like deeply connected, and they like saw signs and stuff, and like shared different visions and stuff with each other. Like I don't know, there's something like saying when you just said that, it just like resonated with me real quick. I think all of us are very like young at heart. Like we have very youthful. I don't know,
Yeah.
just a youthfulness about us.
Yeah, yeah.
Our creativity and experimentation
For
and
sure. I'm young at heart, but I'm also just young, period.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. Who knows if I'll still be like this when I'm your age or older. Hopefully. Hopefully. I like how I am. Maybe I'll be a little bit less anxious though. Hopefully that'll be nice. Um, and I guess here's the last written question. So, um, yeah. Here's the last written question I've got. Abstract says, "What you talking about? I'm old as fuck." Uh,
I see Digital Love as another one too. After, if you want to
great, great.
get to that one after.
Yeah, I'll get to that one after. So this is just a kind of a more, this is like a more future-oriented question, which is kind of fitting because we talked about how we might look when we're older. Um, and that is, what are your aspirations and where you hope to see yourself in the future?
Hmm. I would say as far as like music, I'm guessing
Yeah,
is
as
yeah,
far as like
okay.
as far as music primarily, and like how music may or may not affect your life as a whole. I don't know.
Yeah,
As a
okay.
public figure potentially, you know.
Gotcha. Um, one thing I'm big about is um I never want to become famous.
Mm,
I never want someone to I mean, I'm sure it'll happen naturally because people in general tend to use the term a lot, but I'm the type I would never want to have like ideally, I would never want to have someone come up to me and say, "I'm a fan of your music." Like I don't want
mhm,
fans, I don't want to be famous. I
mm,
just want supporters and people who just love to hear my music.
right.
Just really simple as that. And
Mhm,
I would love to have, get to a point where music can enable me to reinvest into it, but in different ways, like traveling and like off of my music to visit or do like a meet and greet for people who listen to my music in a particular area. That's something I would love to do like down the line when I have a bigger support system or following or whatever you want to call it. I
more
would love
income
to
from your
well,
music.
yeah, and the income to provide for it, yeah.
Mhm,
But yeah, I would love to do that. Like there's been times on Spotify where I'll see like Los Angeles, it'll have like 76 listeners in the past the past week or something like that. And it kind of crosses my mind. It's like, man, I wonder if I was to go out there and get a venue for the night or whatever, and like would even like 10 people show up out of those 76? Because like that would mean so much for me. Like that would be an amazing like step of progression to be able to like eventually put on a show. Like I want to get DJ equipment and eventually get into DJing. So maybe like eventually be
God,
able to
yeah.
travel, put on some shows and stuff, like some small sets here and there, something like that. Um yeah, I see a lot of potential. There's really nothing set in stone as like, all right, I want to accomplish this by this point.
Mhm,
I just see a lot of potential. There's a lot of
for
visions of
sure.
what could materialize. So I guess it's like just a matter of what paths, I take along the journey
Yeah,
and where they lead me
yeah.
to.
That's cool. I also it's funny, I've also considered live performance as an option for me. I am very much a pre-record drag and drop style musician. So I really don't know. I've never really thought about how that would work, but
Mhm.
I guess I've thought a little bit like I think my live performances would just be fundamentally different from my non-live performances. Like I
Like your
might play an
studio.
yeah, my studio ones. Like
Mhm.
I'll play a song, but it'll just be very different sounding. Like it'll be a
Yeah,
different version.
yeah.
I'm not gonna
They
try
used to
to.
do that a lot too. Like back in the day, they would have like a studio album and then like live album.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
it's like I'm not even gonna try to replicate. In most cases, I'm not even gonna try to replicate the original. I'm gonna make
Hmm.
it like it's kind of like a remix, if you will, like a live
Yeah.
mix. I thought about various different things I could do to make the live performance interesting. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Tesla coils.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, love the fuck out of Tesla coils. Definitely want one of those,
That
or
would be dope
or
for live
several.
performance.
Yeah, like lightning show. Um, I could see myself learning piano, playing chip speech on keys. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Just like the pros. But yeah, it's just a few things
Actually, I
down the
say he used
road.
to do live shows.
Oh,
Dope.
who used to do live
I
shows?
think you might
Oh,
have told me that
abstract.
before.
That's awesome. Basically just like having an instrumental play and like rapping, I'm guessing. Um okay, now what did Digital Love say? Where's that? Um Preem, I was wondering. I remember you being interested in funk, but was it Baby Rage that got you more into funk? Sorry, I probably worded that weird.
Oh no, that was perfect. Yeah, I would definitely say hats off to Baby Rage. Much appreciation and shout out to him for
Mhm.
really sparking that deep interest because I was interested in it. I never from the first time that I heard the Tokyo Drift song in Fast and Furious, it always stuck to me. It was like such a different sound. Like I've heard cowbells in the past, like they've been used in like R&B and stuff like that, but I've never heard it before Tokyo Drift, where it was like more of a melodic element. It was more of like a uh an instrument than like
A
a little
percussion.
perk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um so that it always like there's a certain energy like in the cowbell, like to me at least, like when it hits my ear it does like there's a certain like thing about it. So yeah, and specifically with that cowbell, um like that is it's like one of those things, like it's ingrained in my mind, like it'll forever like be a part of me, that moment when I first heard that track. So but after that, it's like I never really looked into it. I never looked up tracks that are like Tokyo Drift, like at the time, like years back. I never, you know, really researched any deeper than just liking that track. So when Baby Rage came through and he showed me that, I really honestly thought that was like a one-off style type of
Mm.
track that was made just for the movie. So when Baby Rage came back around and started to submit stuff and showed like different videos for the reaction time streams and different stuff for the kickbacks, I'm like, man, this is actually a thing. Okay, so
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
explore this some more and let's see what we can unravel
I
here.
think I learned
So
about funk. I think I learned about funk at around the same time as you, Preem, through Baby Rage and somebody else who doesn't really come through anymore, who used to come through when I first came on. I don't remember his name, but he made a lot of drift funk, as I recall. I don't remember what his name was. He made the microwave song. You recall that? Made a microwave, like he made a song sampling his microwave.
it vaguely sounds familiar, but I don't remember. No.
Crazy, crazy guy. I don't remember him anymore. He doesn't really come through. He was 16, I believe. 16, I think.
Hmm.
That's what he said. I don't know. I don't remember him. I don't remember his name, but he was there when I first joined the kickback. Um, but yeah, that and him and Baby Rage is how I kind of discovered funk. My brother's also like low key into funk music. So when I made my first funk
The one that
style,
makes games.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um,
Dope.
I I made a when I made a funk track. My brother liked it a lot. I I still haven't. That funk track is gonna appear in uh one of my large albums that I'm planning on
Ooh,
releasing at some point. Hope it's probably gonna be somewhere around next year, just because of all the shit I'm trying to work on, including music videos and a lot of stuff. But yeah, one of these days I will show you my funk collection, and maybe
dope.
you can come on and say that's actually not funk, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I feel like that. See, funk is like a very flexible genre. I found like there's
hmm
so many subgenres to funk, and it's like you can really do what you want with it as long as you. It's almost like there's a guideline for it. Like you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to have vocals, but it helps, to have some Memphis vocals. That's kind of like uh
hmm
easy way into like the funk vibe, like to
Right.
start, and then but yeah, mainly like just that, like the
It's got a
just
very
it's a lot with the
distinct.
mix, the sound
Yeah. It's
itself.
also just got a
Yeah,
very distinct like rhythm, you know? Very
yeah, yeah.
distinct tempo, very distinct pattern.
Hmm.
Like got a very distinct pattern and flow to it.
Yeah, because like a lot of people would say like real funk is like DJ Smokey, Sudier type beats, and I think typically a lot of their stuff that's big is more around, I want to say like the 110 to like 120, 125 BPM ish. But then you have funk that's like you can go up to 200 BPM, maybe even beyond that, and make some crazy like high energy, fast paced, hard hitting drift funk type beats. So yeah, it's like you really like myself. I don't even think that any one of my tracks that I consider funk is like if you were to play it for the premier funk music reviewer, he'd probably say um this isn't true funk. Like so
Mm.
I'm at the point where all my music uh I consider to be premium gas. That's just like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's my genre, my unique sound. So that's what
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah.
Premium
But
gas
there's a lot
edition.
of like there's funk in it. Like I feel like my sound is like it has like the boom bap. There's some R&B vibes sometimes, depending on like the sample and the vibe that I go with.
Mhm.
Which I have a heavy background into. I get into like some of the rock like kind of vibes, heavy metalish kind of drops or switches that I'll do using hardcore in FL Studio, of course.
Mhm.
Um, and then
Hardcore's cool.
yeah, and then like house vibes. At this point, it's like just one big hodgepodge, like mix of all those things that make my sound.
Yeah. I feel very similar about my sound. I wish I knew more about what the fuck my genres were. All I know is they're some form of electronica. Electronic music is such a diverse like um spectrum, and really
Yeah,
it's so interesting too because electronic music can encompass other certain things but not encompass others, when in actuality an overwhelming majority of music is done electronically. It's just
yeah,
with some to some degree or another, like even pure hip hop, modern hip hop, like
yeah.
there's synthesizers in there. Come on, there's synthesizers in
Hmm.
there. It's like so it's like electronic music, there's like an original electronic music genre, which doesn't encompass everything, which I find interesting.
Yeah, that's like same with funk. Like I would love to hear what like the original like whoever was the first person to make a beat that is now known as funk and whatever the original what it was. I would love to hear like what that sounds like
Mm-hmm.
because still to
Yeah.
this day, like it's debatable. A lot of people say, you know, going back to like Sudier and DJ Smokey, they say that like they're pioneers in funk and but it's like I wonder like are one of those guys like one of the guys who did the first beat ever. So is that like the template of what funk should be, or was there
Yeah.
someone before them, or you know, did they
That's so
mix in some
yeah.
things from a bunch of people that they were collaborating with? You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you really never know.
And it's
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 crazy.
so interesting too how genres come to be. It's like I've never really thought it through. Like, yeah, I wonder how this genre started, or I wonder how this genre started.
Mhm.
Um, because originally the person had, because like the way creativity works is everything is inspired by something.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
which is very dumb that copyright is like copyright law and just law in general is like the very anti creativity, anti
Yeah.
art.
Yeah.
Um, but that's an entirely different conversation. That makes me wonder, like, because like something similar happened to me with hyperpop. Um, I discovered hyperpop.
Swear I was just thinking hyperpop.
Yeah, because um I discovered hyperpop through 100 Gex. They were the very first hyperpop artists I discovered. Um, and they kind of created the hyperpop template in my mind to start off with. Even though hyperpop is also a very diverse genre and can encompass many different things that I wasn't aware of until I started digging deeper. And it's very curious about it's so you love to hear about like the different cultures and different involved with different genres of music.
Yeah.
Cuz like hyperpop has a huge amount of hip hop in it, but it
Mhm.
also has a huge amount of pop in it. But it's also very like digitized
Yeah.
and distorted. And it's like it has a lot of hip hop in it. It's also very queer. It's also very LGBTQ. There's a lot of LGBTQ
Mm.
artists in there.
Oh, I never knew that. I was
Yeah.
gonna say it also gives me I always get like anime montage vibes, like fight scenes or something. So it gives I don't know if
Mhm.
if it's big in like Asian countries or within the anime community, but that's what it
Mhm.
always gives me. So that could be another
It's popular. I think to some extent it's popular in Asian countries. It's popular. I'll say it's popular with people who are probably weeaboos. So there's that.
I
Weeaboos.
that what is that?
Weeaboo
I've never heard
being
of that.
weeaboo is like basically an American fan of anime, an American anime fan,
Oh, okay. Never knew
or
that.
like a
Okay.
or in other words like a non-Japanese anime fan. An
Ah,
English speaking anime fan is
weird.
usually what weeb is weeb for short.
Huh.
Yeah. So anyone who loves the fuck out of anime, like oh I like Death Note has a anime body pillow. You know the type. You know the type. Right? Yeah.
That's
Like
very interesting.
love love the shit out of anime.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um Anime profile pic. That's a weeaboo. um yeah. But back to that. I swear hyperpop your daughter Abstract says my daughter.
You know, as a weeb. Uh,
Nothing wrong with that.
nope, nope, not at all.
Um I'm not a weeb, but I definitely have I definitely and absorbed a lot of it, a lot of culture from a lot of weeb culture, if you will, because it very much interconnects with, I guess, queer culture. Um, but anyway, back to hyperpop. Do you remember the Gummy Bear song? Do you know Gummy Bear?
Oh. I don't think
Oh,
so.
I'm a gummy bear. Yes, I'm a gummy bear.
Oh yeah. Now that you
That was
said,
made
yeah.
years ago, and that was before
Mhm.
hyperpop was even created. But it just makes me think, like, things that sound like hyperpop were around before hyperpop as a concept
Yeah.
was invented. And that could be for, and the same thing could be for funk too.
Right. Yep.
Or just newer genres, and even older genres. Like,
Yeah.
something that sounded like metal or rock could have been just, I don't know, a very weird bootleg version of some other genre.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and it's just like, I remember listening to Gummy Bear as a child and being like, haha, this is so bad, and this is so bad and trash. But now, and now that now that I unironically enjoy hyperpop, I listen to that again and it's like, this kind of slaps. This kind of slaps. Not gonna lie. And also just
Things come
unironic,
full circle.
and it's like, honestly, it's hard for me to distinguish unironic enjoyment to ironic enjoyment, you know? It's like, if something doesn't traditionally sound good, but it makes me laugh,
Yeah.
then that's still enjoyment. And it's not
Right. Yep.
necessarily like, I enjoy it not in a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally know what you mean.
yeah. Especially if the creator had that in mind, like, it's supposed to be interpreted this way,
Right.
like, that's an art form in and of itself. And I feel that way with a lot of music that people might just listen to and be like, "Oh, that's garbage." Because they're used to absorbing music in a very specific way,
Yep.
in a way that's like, "Ooh,
Mhm.
this is awesome."
Mainstream, like this
Yeah.
is what music should sound like.
Yeah,
This is what it's supposed to sound like, you know.
or like, this is how I'm used to absorbing music. Like,
Mhm.
when I listen to music, I wanna be floored, I wanna get chills. And some of the
Yeah.
music I listen to, they don't give me chills because, but they don't I don't enjoy them in that way, but I enjoy them in a
Mhm.
different way.
Right. Yep.
Uh, Abstract says Keegan is this your 14th interview. It is not. I'll ask about the numbers. It's my 14th streaming with Keegan. And as I have it right now, streaming with Keegan's are basically just one thing every week and they change. So it's not like streaming with Keegan is like, it changes different forms. That's kind of how I decided to set it up to where streaming with Keegan is the only type of stream I have, and it just changes form basically. And this is the interview form. I might change it to make it less confusing. I don't know if that's good or bad. It might confuse people. I don't know. But I think if you looked at it in my live section, it'll make more sense. The numbers will add up, quite literally. Um. So, how long have we been on? It's been about an hour. An hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Something like that. That's it for my questions.
Hasn't felt like it.
What?
Hasn't felt like it.
I know. I feel like I could ask more questions, but my notes have ran out of questions to ask. So I've just kind of been relying on my ability to talk about different subjects because I don't want this interview to end quite yet. Having fun.
Yeah, this has definitely been fun. I
Yeah, I don't know if you
definitely
have. I don't know if you
appreciate
have
this once again.
for sure. I don't know if you've got places to be or anything. Like we could end the stream here, but I'm kind of find
No,
myself leaving.
if there's other questions or
Yeah, by any
anything else, I
means,
got some time.
by any means, if you have more questions for RichAvePreme, please ask them in the comments, and we could wait.
Abstract.
Abstract. What did he say? Numbers usually add up. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, my brother's actually expressed interest in music to some degree. He was
Oh, really?
little known fact. he was the one who introduced me to FL Studio. He doesn't make music, but he was like, or like he never got as much out of it as I did, obviously. But he was the one who introduced me to FL Studio. He made a remix of a song, and that's basically to the extent he's touched it. But he introduced it to me, and I was like, oh wow, I could do all kinds of crazy shit with it. I can make music. And since then he's kind of reached out to me lately and is like, we could he's interested in like making you've seen that video with where a YouTuber was trying to make a song with a professional producer, right?
Yeah.
It was Porter Robinson, I believe, person who created Goodbye to a World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He wants to do something similar with me. Like, he makes the song, and I just kind of help him with that. Be his crutch, basically. Which will
That
be
sounds
interesting,
dope.
which would be fun.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like that would be fun.
definitely gonna send that over at some point when we're done with it. Because he's gonna basically be the brains behind it, but I'm gonna be the one who's, like, telling him how to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. Like, eventually, I think down the line, I might start making like actual content, say like so much like lives or editing videos. But I mean, it will be edited video, but it'll be more so of like, one of the ideas that
my
I
fans,
have.
yeah, my fans,
Oh, go ahead.
my fans bossed me around, and this is the result. Like something like that.
Yeah. Or like one of the ideas I have is to have like a friend or a family member work within FL Studio, and I'm not allowed to touch anything. I can kind of guide them, give them ideas of what to do and stuff like that, but I can't touch anything. They have to make a beat, on their own. I saw like different videos of that, like people would do it with their spouse or with their little brother or something like that, and it always like looked like a fun.
I would be doing it with my little brother, but I wouldn't be filming it. It's
Yeah.
just kind of a thing we'll do. But like, I don't know if he'd want me to make content out of it. He's a little, I don't know. He's a little bit shy. At some point, like, at some point I'd like to introduce him. It'd be funny just because you said our voices sounded very similar.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's like, I'd say family members have confused us before. Like,
Wow.
in a voice call, we were in a voice call, and I would go on my brother's computer and talk, and they would legitimately think I'm my brother.
Oh man.
It's pretty funny. And like, I never heard it. But then when you said it in that live stream, I haven't heard it because I'm used to my voice and I'm used to my brother's voice.
Mhm.
But when you said that, and then I like looked at my live stream, I clicked off the stream, looked at my latest live stream where I was playing his game, heard my voice, then went back to Elliot's video about his game, and went between them. I was like, oh shit, he's right. We do sound exactly the same. Fuck. How did I not notice that?
I was thinking about that the other day. Like sometimes I'll get into like just really deep thought, even if it gets me nowhere and it's something completely random. Sometimes I'll just stop and have a completely deep thought. Like,
yeah,
just looking at like life, it's like itself. It's like, everyone is. It's like we're very similar, yet we're very different. Like no one's eyes, no two pairs of eyes are the same, like the same shape as far as like small, minute little divots and creases and stuff like that. Like little, the shape, like the texture and everything. So it's like no matter what, and same with like our eardrums. I was in particular
Yeah.
thinking of like sight and like vision and hearing. Like even our eardrums, everyone's biology is slightly different. So
Yeah.
it's like no matter what, it's like we might all see things or hear things similarly, but it's like the way that I see you and I hear you is it might be a fraction of a bit off from like the way
Yeah.
abstract or digital love or someone else sees
And
you or and hears you.
that's
It's
so
like
yeah, that's so interesting. Like and like there's usually no way to like hear or see a frame of reference. I thought about that with color.
yeah.
Like I think I watched a Vsauce video. I don't know if you heard of Vsauce.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Um, but I think I've seen a Vsauce video where he talked about, oh, my color red might be completely different from your color red or something
Right. Mhm.
like, and there's no way to tell. There's no
Yeah.
way to there's no way to compare
It's,
because you
it's
just
so
have
it's so
verbal
it's so crazy.
because you can't verbally describe a color, can you?
To an extent,
You
maybe,
can't
but I
like
don't think.
you could say what it's like. You could say, oh,
Yeah.
it's this red, bright red, like a rose or like
Mhm.
blood red. But like you're
But it's like
still
you're always
referencing.
referencing something. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like you're
yeah.
not telling what that red is, like that
Yeah,
red itself.
like the essence of red.
Right.
The reason why I'm thinking about it is because of the red backdrop. Ooh, looks like Digital Love's got a question. My stalling paid off.
I think Abstract had one too.
Oh, great, great.
When are you gonna drop your next album? He said.
Yeah, okay.
Um my next album, well my next project is probably gonna be my house EP.
Mm,
It's not like funk house, it's I guess I don't know what to call it, traditional house. I have no
gotcha.
clue to call it. Like four on the floor, no cowbells, more melodic type
Mm,
of vibes. So that's gonna be probably early mid December, and then probably to end the year or to kick off like right in the beginning of the year, like January 1st, I might release it. Will be most likely will be Premium Gas or Premium Funk Volume 2.
mm,
But it'll be in the form, most likely be in the form of an EP. However, it might be another album because I have already like 5 or 6 tracks that are pretty much there. So I'm thinking between now and like mid December, mid late December, I'll probably have another at least four, maybe at least 4 or 5. So that would put me in, the bracket of being an album when I put it through like, distribution. So it might be another album to kick off. If I do that, yeah, I think I'll do I think my next album will be released January 1st,
mm.
most likely.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like I have a lot of shit that'll happen around next year too. So cool. It's
Nice.
like a rebirth. Um, I'm probably gonna make a music video for January next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm realizing, and I think I talked about this to some degree in my last live stream, but I used to only have YouTube. I didn't have a distributor, and I released all my originals on YouTube. They were horribly unmixed and bad. Because I didn't know how to mix back then. I just used FL Studio's limiter, and I didn't even realize it was on. I was that oblivious. I was like, wow, everything I make sounds cool, and the way I make things is my synthesizers and my vocals are in a perpetual screaming match to try to be the loudest, and the side chains are horrible. um, but yeah, I used to release all of my fucking originals on YouTube as lyric videos, and they got no attention whatsoever. Then I discovered, oh wait, distributors existed, because I was always so like, how come other musicians get to have such how come other musicians on YouTube get the cool sexy musical note icon?
Yeah.
Why don't I get one of those? And how come their music shows up in a cool thing when I search them on YouTube? Like cool albums, and I can't do that. And they're on Spotify? How do you put your music on Spotify? I was upset. I wanted to do that. But then I discovered distributors and I was like, oh, that's how they do it. And now that I have a distributor and I'm on Spotify, I'm realizing my YouTube is getting more popular. Which is so ironic because now I'm making YouTube videos for my originals again, which I never thought I'd do.
Yeah. Full circle.
Full circle. I should have just stayed on YouTube. Anyway. But yeah. I think. Oh yeah, Digital F. Here's another question he had. Question: Preem, do you think the core will ever hang out in real life sometime throughout our lifetime?
Yeah, definitely. Like that goes back to like the aspirations and where I see myself question. How I would love to get to the point of traveling, and even if it's like it doesn't even have to be to put on a show or to anything like music related, just if I'm able to like do a meetup with people to from the community
Yeah.
to just go and I don't know, get some food or go to like
Well, yeah.
Top Golf or something, like had to do a little activity or something, like hang out for a little bit for the
Hell
day
yeah.
or something like that. I would love to do that, definitely.
For sure.
I love to travel. I love seeing new places, so I would get a lot out of that, like a lot out of those experiences for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely. I would love to meet all you guys too. I'm pretty quarantined, and usually and that's gotten me, and since I'm like the third shortest in my family, I think. No, I'm the second shortest in my family. And I'm like over 6 feet. I'm over 6 feet. I'm like 6'1", but I'm like very, very much shorter than my brother. He's like 6'7". So when I go out and see other people, I forget that I'm tall until I see other people. Because I'm always around my brother.
Yeah.
I used to think of myself as the tall one, but my dad's an inch or so taller than I am. My brother certainly is. I'm only taller than my mom. And I would still consider myself pretty tall, but I feel like I might be taller than most of you guys. I don't know how tall you are.
You're definitely above the average. I think it's
Yeah.
like 5'9" or something like that is the average.
Yeah. I know.
I'm just short of 6 feet.
Oh, okay. So we're probably around the same height. I'm like barely 6 feet. I'm like 6'1". I'm like an inch over 6 feet. Yeah, Abstract says definitely taller than me. For some reason, I thought Abstract would be the same height as me. I don't know. I'm just short of 6 feet too. Okay. All right.
Oh yeah, I remember in Digital Love's interview, there's like 3 or 4 of us that were 5'11" in the chat.
Yeah. That made me think, like, damn, I'm gonna be taller than a lot of you guys when we meet in person, and I'm not used to that in my head. You should see pictures of me with my brother. You'd think I'm like 5'5" or something. I don't look tall because my brother just makes me look very small, very short.
Yeah, Digital Love. I think he said he's gonna make a track. What was it?
Short King.
Short King. Is that what the name of the track was gonna be? A Short King
know.
Energy or something like that? Small King Energy, Short King Energy or something. I don't know. I forget.
Abstract says, I mean, I could wear some stilts and be tall. Yeah, that'd be great. And
6 foot energy, 6 foot energy.
Yeah, 6 foot energy.
Yeah.
That's what it was. 6-foot energy. Yeah. It still blows my mind. Like, how I'm briefly forgetting how big, how tall is how tall is a foot? How many inches are in a foot? I forgot. 12 inches.
Well,
12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Elliot has fewer inches to go than like he's like closer to 7 feet than 6 foot.
yeah.
Yeah. 6'6". He's closer to 7 feet than 6'6", which is insane. Anyway. Hey, I'm Mexican. Name
Yeah.
3 Mexicans that are tall. Yeah, that's fair. I think I may have like I think I may have like Swedish or Scottish heritage. I'm not sure. I know a lot of Swedish people are blonde, so I'd have to look in the ancestry or something. My brother is a ginger, so there's definitely some Scottish blood. It's just so interesting too, because we don't look at all the same, but we sound very similar.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we could call it quits. Unless you have anything else to
Yeah, that was
say or bring up.
wow. Got to an hour and a half. No, I don't have nothing in particular that I could think of. I think
up-
everything's been very thoroughly covered.
Oh, one more very important question I forgot to
Oh,
mention.
okay.
Have you heard back from Microsoft about Minecraft?
Yes. So I have to wait. There's an issue with my Game Pass. So I have to wait for the next cycle. Well, I have to cancel, like let it run out, and then like repurchase it instead of letting it go over. So by sometime next month, I should be able to play. But
God,
yeah, there's an issue with my
you have to repurchase it?
yeah, basically.
Lame.
Uh yeah, but I have to wait for it's like I'm blocked from accessing it right now. Until my next what is it called? Game Pass cycle. So which yeah, my Game Pass runs out in December, so
Gotcha.
by next month should be able to check it out.
Cool. I misread Abstract's comment as, "Oh, I finally got OCD." But it's
Oh, you picked up Modern Warfare 2? I've been watching some streams for it. I don't know if I'm gonna get it or not. The online, the multiplayer, like what I would play on stream if I were to get it, they don't have the same mode that I like to play, like the fast-paced mode, so I don't know.
Oh no,
I
I've always
might
had
eventually
OCD.
fold.
Oh no, I've always had OCD. Same.
You guys would be down. We could totally all hop. Oh, you got it too, digital love. Oh man, I saw a little bit of the campaign, and I heard it was good. Like I heard the whole thing, like the whole campaign was well done. So I would love to get it to play the campaign. So I don't know. It might be in the future, the near future.
Anyway, I think that's about it. We could wrap up the meeting now. But yeah, thank you for coming through. Pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me. Always do a very, very well done job with these interviews.
Thank you. All right. So that was RichAvePreme, and this was Streamin' with Keegan. I'll see you guys all next time with a gaming stream where I will probably be playing chess as well as Minecraft. Chess on chess.com. So that should be fun. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.